guys, so in today's video I want to use a palette that I actually haven't used in a while, and I don't think I've ever made a video on it, but it's one of my favorites, and it is the Colourpop Boudoir Noir palette thing. It's kind of this like bohemian inspired palette. It looks like this. We've got some nice neutral colors in there. And then I also bought the palette in this set that was like an on sale item. It was a while ago, so it's not going to be on Colourpop anymore, but it came with this little love story blush and this little lip oil. And honestly, this trio is kind of one of my favorite sets from Colourpop. I don't really buy Colourpop sets, but I did splurge on this because it was on sale and I really enjoyed it, and so I want to use this palette and the lip oil today. And so in today's video we are going to be using the Colourpop Boudoir Noir palette. Okay, so before we get started on the makeup look, I have two things to say. One is an impromptu thing. I actually do have hair, I promise. It's just up in this little bun and then the background's dark, so it looks like I don't have hair, but I do, I promise. And the second thing is that I wanted to let you know that I made a little bit of a deviation from my normal base routine. So instead of using the Colourpop Sugar Frosted quad for my blush and my highlight, I still use the highlight in this quad, but I went ahead and I used the Colourpop Love Story blush. So this is the packaging of the blush. It is just this pale kind of pink color. It's like a slight gradient to a darker pink. And then there's all of these gold like bohemian designs. It says Colourpop. And then on the back, the designs are continued and it says Love Story, and then it says Colourpop, and it has all the ingredient information. And then when you open up the compact, there is a mirror and the actual blush. And this is, again, one of the reasons I really like this set, because the blush comes with a mirror. And so you can use it when you actually do your makeup, because I really like palettes that have mirrors, because it allows you to hold it closer than a mirror that like sits on your desk or across a vanity. Like, I have a mirror on my setup right here, and it's further away so that you can't see it, but I'm able to hold this up in videos and it looks nice. So I just want to let you know that I use this blush today. I still use my normal highlight, but I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the eyeshadow portion of this video. So again, this is the Boudoir Noir palette. It's that same pale pink as the blush compact, and it has the same gold details. It says Boudoir Noir, and then on the back we have all of the shade names, the palette title again, Colourpop, all of the ingredients information, and I really like that they kept that gold foil on the actual shade names as well. I just think this is a beautiful palette. It's beautiful packaging and it's gorgeous. And then when you open it up, it is a 12 pan, which is a little bit of a deviation from the normal Colourpop palettes. Most palettes are 9. This is a 12. There are a couple just different shimmer shades. It's a lot of like neutral shades. I think this was really marketed as like a bohemian palette. And then there's obviously a mirror up top, which is also great. It's a little bit bigger, obviously, than the mirror in the blush compact. So you've got a nice duo. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do for our eyeshadow is go to the top right here. This shade is called Melt, and we're putting it on a big fluffy brush. This is an E22 brush from Colourpop. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this to lay down the base of my shadow. Essentially, we're taking it all the way up to the brow bone, and then we're circling it around the outer corner of our eye and bringing it real close in to the lower lash line. And we're kind of stopping about halfway. This isn't going to be very winged out at all, so you're going to want to keep it pretty close to the outer corner of your eye. This is a very soft kind of tan shade, so it's going to work perfectly with lighter and tanner skin tones. And if you have a darker complexion, you might consider using this color here. It's called Vibin. It'll work just a little bit better with a darker complexion, or you can continue to opt for the Melt shade. It's really up to you. Okay, so now that we've got our base shade on, we're going to continue to move around in the palette, and we are going to go in with this color on the bottom left. It is called Silk Sheets. It's like a tannish brown sort of. It's a lighter brown than the color Vibin, and we're going to use it on this same fluffy brush, and we're going to work it into our crease and just slightly above. You don't want to go too far up because we still want to have Melt up towards our brow bone, but we're really just very lightly working this color in to our crease. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to a smaller brush. This is the Colourpop E27, and we're going to take Silk Sheets again, but we're actually going to go on our bottom lash line. So we're going to keep it close to our lash line, and we're going to stop about halfway in our eye, because we're going to use a lighter color eventually in the actual first half of our eye, but we're gonna want to bring this around to the last half of this eye and try to keep it close to your lash line. You obviously want enough product that you can see it and it shows up on your face, but just not too much to where it goes too far down. Alrighty, so we're gonna stick with the same compact brush, the E27, and we are going to go in with the color called Vibing. It's right here. It's a sort of matte brown color with a little bit of sparkle. We're going to take it on our brush and we're really going to focus it on the outer corner of our eye, both the top and the bottom, and then just slowly begin to work it into our crease. We're not going to bring this color all the way to the front, probably just about halfway through the eye, and sort of blend it out. Okay, so now that we've got the Vibing color laid down, I know it looks a little dark right now, it's unblended, we're going to take the big fluffy brush, the E22, we're going to go back in with Silk Sheets, and we're just going to use it to slowly diffuse the edges and help to really blend it into the crease. And I'm just working to sort of keep the color dark, but just blend out the outer corner. We want it to kind of be dark and pull our eye backwards. We just don't want a harsh line at the end of our eyeshadow. Alright, so the next step of our makeup tutorial is we're going to go ahead and create a cut crease, and as always I create a cut crease using my concealer and a flat brush. In this case it's a literal paintbrush. I say that every time, you shouldn't be surprised. And so we're just gonna go ahead, put a little bit of concealer on our flat brush, and then slowly begin to carve out a shape. We're not gonna do anything too crazy today, but you just wanna carve out about like the first 2/3 of your eyelid. Okay, so now that we've created our cut crease, we are going to go in with another color on the palette, and this is Latex. It's on the right here. It's sort of a green color, and I'm just taking this on a decently fluffy brush. This is the E23, and I'm just gonna go ahead and work that into the last half of our eye and sort of blend it with Vibin. Also, once you've got this green color worked in to where you like it, we can actually go back in with Vibing and just take the tiniest bit on our brush and use that just to help the transition and to kind of darken up the outer corner of our eyes again. Alright, so the next color that we are going to use for this look is on the opposite side of the palette. It's this color right here. It's called Desire. It's a darker tan color. And we're going to take it on the small brush. This is the E28. And so we're just going to take this color and go all the way to the inner corner of our eyes. So this is going to be the rest of our lid. Alright, so for the next step of this makeup, we're going to take a small flat brush. This is the Colourpop E38. And we are going to go in with this color near the middle of the palette. It's called Sleep In. It's this wonderful gold color. We're going to take it on this little tiny brush and we're going to trace where we made the cut crease to really highlight the separation between the colors. So I'm literally just going where I drew my cut crease with my concealer, and I'm following that line about 2/3 back on my eye, because right around 2/3 is where we should start blending in all of those darker colors. So this is essentially what it should look like. It's just a little bit of gold to sort of highlight the look, and then just kind of honestly just tap it out with your fingers just to blend it a little bit with the brown color that is at the end of our eyes. Okay, so for some reason my camera cut out. I don't know why, so I'm going to go over the last few steps I did. We used that gold to sort of highlight the cut crease on our eyes, and then we went ahead and used that same gold color, which is called Sleep In, on the lower lash line. And so that's all we did. I don't know why my camera messed up. It's fine. We're going to keep moving on. And so for the last step on the eyeshadow, we are going to go in with this color on the top left of the palette. It's called Good Night. And we're just going to go ahead and take a small little tiny brush and really just pack that on and use that to highlight the inner eye corner. It has this sort of golden shimmer to it that's going to work really well with Sleep In. And just use it to create a little bit of a highlight in the inner eye corner, and then we can also go ahead and take just a little bit on our finger and use it to sort of just dust and highlight our brow bone. Okay, so that is going to go ahead and be all that we are using for the Boudoir Noir palette for this eyeshadow. However, we're not done. We have a few more specialty things we're going to do. I consider specialty anything other than like eyeliner or mascara or falsies or anything like that. And so for really the final specialty step of our eyeliner, we are going to be going in with a NYX Epic Wear liner. This is in the shade Cosmic Yellow, and we're just going to be lining our lower lash line, and I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera when I do the rest of the eyeliner, mascara, my eyebrows, and then I'll come back and we'll do our lips together. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished doing the top half of my makeup. My eyebrows are done. I went ahead and did eyeliner. I didn't do a wing today, which is shocking, but I didn't. And then the falsies that I used were the Colourpop Minx falsies. You can get them online. They have a bunch of different falsie options. And so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish up our lips. And so we're going to use 3 products for this. We're going to be using a primer, a Lippie stick, and then the Luxe Lip Oil that came in the Boudoir Noir set. If I said it weird, it's because I already said it 4 times. Okay, so like I said, the first thing is this primer from Colourpop. I believe you can get it online. I got it in their Lippie Stix bundle. I don't know if it's sold separately, but it just sort of has like a waxy texture that's gonna help the Lippie stick stay on our lips. And then we're going to use a Lippie Stix on top of that just because the lip oil is not exactly opaque. So we are going to be using the shade Brink, and it's just this little pinkish color, and we're going to be applying that right on top. Alrighty, so now that we've got that Lippie stick done, we are going to go ahead and go in with the lip oils. So this is one of the Colourpop lip products. I also have Luxe glosses, and then I think they've come out with a few new lip product scents. But this is a lip oil. It's honestly not my favorite thing just because it does have a very strong scent. But this is the Colourpop Luxe Lip Oil. It has a pale pink lid and that same gold detailing that was on both the eyeshadow palette and the blush palette. And it is called First Date. And so you just open it up, and it has a little bit of a smell, and I don't really know how to describe it. It's sort of like a sweet chemical thing, which does not make sense at all, but we're just going to take a little bit on the applicator and then brush it over this Lippie stick. Honestly, there's not much color that's going to be added. This Lippie stick color actually works really well and sort of bringing out the color of this. The lip oil is just slightly more of an orangey color, but it's good to have an opaque base underneath it so that way we're not left with like semi-nude lips. And if you're wondering, really the big selling point of the lip oils is that unlike a gloss, it's gonna make your lips shiny, but it's not gonna dry. So we all know that glosses are either really sticky or like really wet when you first put them on, and then throughout the day they dry. And the whole point of the lip oil is that it's not supposed to dry since it's an actual oil, which kind of contributes to the smell. And so it's not very sticky at all. It just kind of does feel like when you eat greasy food and your lips are a little oily, but it's not exactly unlike lip gloss. So really it's just a preference. I personally don't like the smell, but I do like this one. It did come in a sale and I thought it was very good. So I use it because I like it, but I'm not necessarily going to be the person to go out and buy more lip oils. Alrighty, so this is the completed makeup look for today. I like it a lot. I think it's very pretty. It's very kind of earthy, but then I tried to bring out the gold accents. That's why I wore what I wore. But overall, like I said, this is one of my favorite sets from Colourpop. Again, I'm not a big lip oil person, but it did come in a set and I do enjoy it. I just probably will not actively buy lip oils. I'm a big fan of this blush palette. I like the fact that it's a compact, it has its own mirror, and it's a good shade. It's not too pink. It's kind of like a matted, sort of like terracotta shade that does have a little bit of a sparkle, but it's not too crazy. Again, the mirror is nice. And then I am absolutely a fan of this palette. Not only is it gorgeous just in the packaging, but it does have 12 colors. It's a little bit more expensive than a Colourpop 9 pan, but obviously you're getting more shades. And I think all of the shades perform well. And overall, I think this palette does have a good range of shades and like textures. I mean, obviously it's not a rainbow palette, but for a palette that's sort of bohemian, kind of like natural neutral inspired, it does have a lot of different colors. And so there are a couple of matte shades, of which we use Desire, Silk Sheets, Melt, Latex, and then Vibin isn't technically a matte shade. It's kind of like a matte with glitter mixed in, but it's sort of on a category of its own. And then there were several shimmer shades, of which we use Goodnight and Sleep In. We didn't actually get a chance to go to Body Language or Nap, but obviously they're going to work the same as the two we did use. And the only one that we didn't use was this pressed glitter color called Bedtime Story. I just personally didn't use it. There's kind of a controversy around pressed glitter. It's not exactly safe for your eyes. People use it anyway. I don't mind pressed glitters, but if you're a person that's against pressed glitters, this only has one of those colors. And yeah, like I said, this is the Boudoir Noir set. It was on sale a while ago. It's probably not on sale on the website. The individual products might still be on sale on the website. I'm not exactly sure how they do the rotations. If it is, if it's not, if you can find it, it's a really good palette. I think you'll really enjoy it. And so overall, I rate this palette and this set 10 out of 10. I'll see you next time.